Anxiety is the fear of an imaginary future that you are imagining the most horrible and horrific things that can happen to you in the future. It happens to me a lot. This is one of the biggest reasons that I don't watch the news, because I see what happens to other people and I immediately oh my God, what if this thing would happen to me? What do I do? How would I do? Ugh. And it's horrible. So even though I don't watch the news, I'm on social media, and there you also see very horrific stuff. It brings my anxiety back to life. I was always sure that my anxiety comes of the survival mechanism, that I have to be aware of all of the horrible things that are happening in the world, so I know how to protect myself. And it's also comes from there. And I understood that it comes from my inner child, who was always in the shadows, because who wants to listen to this inner child? But I have to, because it's part of me. Because I was growing up in an unfunctional environment, I wasn't feeling safe. I don't remember this feeling. I felt that I have to make sure that my mother is safe. People who were growing up in fucked up environments, so because of that, they are super scanning everything around them all the time. Only yesterday I understood that because my child is this is the only toolkit she had. She had, when I was 5 years old, I didn't understand anything. So the only thing she knew how to do is to scan everything like crazy and to search like crazy for all of the scary and horrible things that can happen. And when she noticed that something horrible happened, so this is why I have this thing that if something horrible happens to other people, I immediately start to imagine what if it would happen to me. And then I stuck in a loop that maybe will take weeks of thinking this horrible thought in many ways every day. And it's super not fun. When I read this wonderful book, there she's talking about the inner child. And she says, and I've heard this many times, that when you feel this horrible feeling, or maybe you have this horrible thought, that after that will bring you the horrible feeling, be in it, think about the worst thing that could happen and feel it. I've started to do it. It's fucking scary, but I've started to do it because your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So when you imagining or this horrible thing that can happen to you, your body believes it, and it's fucking scary, and you're feeling it. I'm still new at it, so obviously I first of all try to ignore the feeling. What happens when you try to ignore the feeling? It starts to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and start to scream, "Hey, Rosalina, why are you not listening to me? Let me say this horrible thing. Let me start to imagine it." Ah! This is how I feel. So I try to ignore it. No, I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to see it. I don't want to feel it. This feeling start to conquer my body. And I feel I feel a headache, and I'm not so focused. And I try to put a podcast or do something, and I start to feel tired and weak, and with the headache. And then I start to feel it in the left side, under my left boob, here, that this area just shrinks like that. And I just in it, and then I'm saying, okay, I have to pay attention, because I just feel like that I'm starting to feel horrible, and I feel worse and worse when I try to ignore this feeling. The only way to get out of it is through it. I love this quote. And there are many ways for me that that help me to get through this emotion. instead of continuing to ignore this emotion, and by that making them bigger and bigger and bigger, and just hunt me, because that's how I feel. That this feeling just hunts you and make it louder, and if you don't listen to it, you will feel it all over your body in so many ways, until you will recognize this feeling that comes after a thought. So you have to recognize this thought and sit and talk to your neighbor, survival neighbor, my neighbor's name. If you already subscribe to my channel and watch the videos, you know them. You know Frederick. His name is Frederick. And you have also your inner child in the shadows. Her name is little Rosalina. So here are the things that I do when the feelings are all over my body. I have the feelings are here. I have here in my tummy that shrinks, and I have the headache, and I'm like, ugh, I'm so weak. Say what's on your mind, okay? Let it be. It's fucking scary. I know it's scary. I hate to do it. I hate to do it all the time. It's so not fun. I don't know if you will ever get used to it, really, because maybe in like 20 years I will tell you, yeah, you will eventually. But now, no, I didn't get used to it. It's very hard for me to do every time that I need to say this scary, horrible thought that I think, but I say it and I feel this feeling. And the first thing that I do when I already said all of the things that I imagined, it's just be mindful. What does it mean? I just start to scan everything I have in this room. I've heard this technique from Marta Beck, I think her name. You just need to do something and be super aware of what you're doing, but not like go and scroll on social media. She gave an example of sit and write in your name, like an autograph, like a signature. Write in your own name like a signature, and then you have to write it like it's a mirror. And then you're super aware of doing an exercise that you've never done before. The anxiety, the feeling that you were feeling just fades away. When I felt that I was in the kitchen, so I just was super aware of what am I doing. Talk to yourself and say all of the things that you are doing. I'm doing this, I see this, I'm walking. And by that, the feeling just fades away. And just be with yourself. Don't put some music. If you want, you can put like meditative music. Do something and just say to yourself, I'm doing this, I'm taking that. I see it. I'm going to. The second thing that I do, it's a bit harder. You just feel this horrible feeling that I described before, and you sit with it. Here I am, sitting and feeling this feeling. La la la. It's not la la la, it's like la la la. But okay. After a minute or two, it will start to fade, and you will start to think about other stuff. And that's it, it just faded. This is the harder thing to do, because you are super aware, and you are hardcore feeling this feeling for 1 minute or two, maybe more. But instead of just the first example that I gave you, that you're doing something else, and by that this feeling fades. Here, you said the horrible things, you are aware of them, like not you, the inner child said all of the things she's afraid of that would happen, and what you would do if it would happen. She's giving her tack, say what you want to say, but not with this attitude. Yes, say what you want to say, like you're talking to a little child. It's okay, say it, I'm here, I'm listening. And you like feel this horrible feeling, then you sit with it. But it fades, it really fades. It's not fun, but it's necessary, and it truly helps. The third thing, it helps when you are feeling anxiety, but you still don't fucking know why you feel this way. You know this feeling that you feel anxious, that just came out of nowhere, and you like Why? Why do I feel like that? Sometimes you even waking up with this feeling. So in those cases, when I still don't know what woke up during anxiety, so I do the best things that help, and it's breath work. And there is a channel, wow, breathe with Sandy. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Just you don't feel good, you don't know why, but you feel anxious. Something is heavy on your chest. Breathe with Sandy. And you know breath work, or maybe you don't know, but breath work just doing a restart to all of your body. And he even has breath works for anxiety. So with the left brain and with the right brain, that the anxiety comes with the left brain. Maybe it's not like working right now. It's always working, but not like, maybe it's on a break, maybe you went to the toilet, and then when you start to breathe, you're doing your breath work, then this side is like, hey, come back here, you're in the toilet for too long. And he's like, okay, I'm coming. And then because he's back again, the anxiety fades away because he's doing something. I need to understand more, obviously. But this Martha, who I was talking about like before, who gave the signature example, she said that it's because of that, the left brain and the right brain. So you have to bring more oxygen to the left brain. I think it's the left brain that's going on a break. Maybe it's the right brain, but it needs to have more oxygen so he will come. This is why there is also this technique that Giselle showed in the past, like that you breathe from here, let go from here, nostril, right? Nostril. Breathe from here, take out from here. But don't learn from me right now. Go to Breathe with Sandy. Maybe you have lots of more channels about breath work, but I'm doing all the time with Sandy. My partner is doing all the time with Sandy, and I can say for sure that it helps me when I feel stressed and anxious, when I still don't know what is the reason. So breath work with him. The third thing that I do to discover where is my anxiety is coming from, and also to just giving her a place to say everything, is to journal. Many times I think that I understood and I feel it, it's still like haunting me, and I don't understand why it's still haunting me. It happened to me until, this is why I'm telling you that only yesterday I understood that it's coming from my inner child, because I'm a week already feel haunted by the anxiety, and only yesterday I understood it. It makes me, when you understand where is it coming from, something in your body signals you that this is correct, this is the root of the anxiety. And when you feel like, okay, and you feel it, and from that it's become easier to deal with it. Before that, I thought that I understood. I thought that I found the root, but it wasn't. It just wasn't the root. It was coming from the root, but I wasn't there yet. To find the root, journal helps a lot. To do it, yes, you have to be very honest with yourself, open, not judgmental, with love towards yourself. And remember that it's not the truth. You know what is the truth. What you have in the present moment is the truth. Remind yourself that, and remind that to the inner child of you. Remember that the only thing this inner child wants is just to talk. It's just that someone would listen to her. And just by journaling, I'm giving her the moment to say what she wants to say without any judgment and with love. And I will hug her and I will explain to this part of me. And if you think I'm a psychopath, go and read some books. okay? And go and listen to podcasts that people are talking about those things, because I'm like talking and I'm like, oh my God, I think people who don't understand what I'm talking about will think that I'm schizophrenic. But no, it's not schizophrenia, it's normal, it's the true. When you read and learn about those things, it just makes you feel calmer, because you understand and you are aware from where all of the things are coming from. And when you know where is the root, you can tackle the root, but with in a loving way, because the root's like, it's in you, so you should not tackle yourself. You're tackling yourself when you are ignoring it. That's right. When you know where is the root, you can come with love towards it, and from that, he will release and release and release and release. I gave you many options of how to deal with an anxiety when you already know where is it coming from, when you still don't know where is it coming from, when you are in between. All of those things I'm doing all the time. For me, at least, all of them are very helpful. You can find one thing that helps you, that you can deal with right now, because as I said, you have to be loyal also to the process of being super uncomfortable, of feeling those feelings, of being aware of those feelings and thoughts. The anxiety will become weaker and weaker when you understood the root of it, when you understood from where is it coming from, when you understood who's waking it up all the time, the inner child. Also, the thing that I think it's obvious, but if it's not obvious, it really helps, exercising. Exercising also, not only, like same with breath work, not only when you feel anxious. It's a bit harder for me to exercise when I don't feel good. When I figured out the root of it, and just to maintain it, exercising and practicing yoga also helps a lot. Just doing every day as a habit. That's it from me for you for today. I hope that I help you in some way. I would be so happy if you will share your thoughts, your own experience. Maybe I can learn something new from you. Maybe the people who will read the comment will learn something too. So please comment what you think, and share your own experience. And please subscribe. It will help me a lot. You won't even believe how much this click will help me. And thank you again. I love you. I appreciate you for being here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's a huge honor for me to share with you my magical journey. And by that, I want to wish you to have a magical day, full of magical adventures and a magical life.